Hey guys, Ben Hall here with some of my first impressions of Homefront the Revolution based on the time I spent playing the beta with Richard Worrell, whose written words are accompanying this wonderful video. Homefront the Revolution doesn't start with the best first impression in this first impressions video. The first thing you notice is a pretty basic and janky customization screen, and then that's sort of accompanied by a very sort of bare bones, lackluster UI design, and it all just feels a bit meh and average and uninspired. But as I dug deeper into this game, in this beta with Richard, we actually found ourselves having quite a lot of fun. Elements such as the on-the-fly weapons customization and crafting during the mission felt really good. The actual sound design and the feel of the weapons accompanied that felt, better than it should. The one thing constantly holding it back, and not that apparent in this nighttime video, are the incredibly muddy textures and bad lighting effects. They just feel dated and a bit old and uninspired. But this is a beta, so it's probably old code that gives time for polish to happen before the game was released. It's certainly a better game than the one I played at EGX last year in September. It's come some way, and this multiplayer co-op experience with its kind of crisis-style weapons customization lent for a lot of fun. Once we got the hang of what we were doing and started to actually unlock some of the elements of the character customization as well, that made the experience that bit more fun and made you feel a bit like your experience was a bit more personal. Everything looked incredibly generic and drab to start off with, but once we started to unlock things and put our own spin on the characters and our own weapons with our own upgrades and things to that effect, I had a lot more fun. Upgrades are, of course, tied into a random loot system. Much is the sort of popular thing at the moment. So you earn XP and you earn currency as you play this game. XP you use to unlock skill points, and currency you unlock things like weapons, armor, and modifiers and modules for your weapons. It all became fairly obvious, and it was a little bit confusing to start with, but once we got the hang of it and played around with it for a little while, it was actually quite compelling, and me and Richard finding ourselves wanting to play more and more of the game, which was a surprise considering how drab the game looks. It does sound pretty good though, and it does feel good. It's a bit slower, and we were immediately drawing kind of parallels with The Division that's coming out in its sort of tone and stuff like that. Now, I think The Division is a far more polished experience, but Homefront has some things going for it, and I am looking forward to seeing what it's like when the full game is released in a few months' time.